Hi, I'm Piper, and this is relaxing yoga for finding stillness. I'm going to use a block and bolster for today's class. If you have those, you could grab the same. If you don't have those, you could substitute 2 homemade bolsters, just rolled up towels. We'll start by coming to lie on the back. And as you come to lie onto your back, you can take your feet a little bit wider than your hips, letting your knees relax in towards each other. And you could take your hands onto your hips, just resting there so that you feel your body in space. As you settle in, maybe it will feel nice to turn your head side to side just so that you feel where the middle is, and also you release any sort of lingering gripping through your neck. Maybe moving your mouth so you release any lingering gripping through your jaw. And then as you start to settle in, you can take a few deep breaths in through your nose, exhaling out through your mouth. Again, full deep breath in through your nose, feeling your belly rise with your inhale. Letting something go with your exhale. One more full deep breath in through your nose. Exhaling out through your mouth. And from there, you can allow your awareness to travel back to a more natural, even inhale and exhale. Now moving towards breathing in and out through your nose. And just allowing your breath to begin to lengthen and deepen in the same way that it does when you go to sleep at night and your breath lengthens and deepens, just as a side effect of your body being relaxed, supported. See if you can start to feel into the support of gravity beneath your body. And if you can allow that support to invite relaxation, ease into your breath. That deepening inhale and exhale. Allowing yourself to really feel into the weight of your body in relationship to gravity. Feeling into that ease and the flow of your breath. And allowing those 2 really tangible sensations to anchor your mind into your body. And to help you really begin to arrive where you are. From here, maintaining that connection to the ease and the breath, the places where your body is really rooted, connected into gravity. You can start to find just a little bit of movement as you walk your feet in front of your knees so that the soles of your feet are on the floor. From there, you can start to move towards a supported bridge. Now, we're going to take this one super easy, so you can take a really light amount of support. I'm going to use the bolster for this because it's a pretty small bolster. Your bolster might be a little bit bigger, so if that's the case, you might want to use a thin block if you have one, folded blanket. Just taking the support, whatever you're using, and placing it beneath your sacrum, that triangle bone at the base of your spine. And again, keeping in mind that we're practicing relaxing yoga, so keeping it gentle, keeping it calm. And then as you arrange your body, as you arrange your props and settle back in, just noticing how your body feels, noticing how your mind feels with that adjustment into the shape. And then once again, letting your awareness travel back to your breath. Maybe once again, feeling the belly rising with your inhales and just noticing any gripping, any holding that might exist within the abdomen, within your hip flexors. And seeing if you can find a little bit of release, a little bit of softness, a little bit of surrender into the support of gravity with your exhales. Might feel nice to have your palms facing up towards the ceiling. It might be nice to rest your hands onto your hips once again so that you can have that tangible connection of you to your body. With every exhale, can you settle? Can you ground? Can you arrive even more fully into the space, into your body, into your breath? As you breathe, really starting to think about embracing stillness, what that brings up for you, what that feels like for you. Maybe even feeling the embracing quality of your breath. With every inhale, how it moves through your whole body, bringing oxygen, energy, life. With every exhale, how your breath allows you to soften, surrender, release a little bit more fully, a little bit more completely into gravity. And then from here, you can start to press into your feet, lift your hips off of whatever support was beneath them, slowly letting your spine relax back down towards your mat. Taking your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Once again, let your knees relax in towards each other and just take a full deep breath in. And a full deep breath out. From there, you can start to gather your knees both in towards your chest, rocking your knees from side to side. And from there, you can adjust your right knee into your chest, take the sole of your left foot to the floor, and just rock your right knee side to side. Catching onto the back of your right thigh, you can extend the sole of your right foot up towards the ceiling. And then you can just start to draw some circles with your toes, some circles to the left, some circles to the right. If it feels like it's available to you in your body, you could extend the left leg from here. You're also more than welcome to keep it rooted on the floor. From there, with a full breath in, you can just reach the sole of your right foot up towards the ceiling like you were going to step on the ceiling, pressing your thigh into your hands. And then as you exhale, you can hug your right knee back in towards your chest. If your left leg isn't already extended, you can extend it long out in front of you. And then you can start to cross your right knee over top of your body. And this is where your bolster might come in handy again, or your block, taking it beneath your shin as you cross your leg over your body so that you feel super supported in the twist, so both your shoulders stay grounded. I really like to keep my gaze centered in this posture, just keeping the head really steady, but you can find a position for your head that feels really good, really supportive for you. And then as you settle into the support of gravity, continuing to settle into the support of your breath. Settling, releasing, softening. I have a teacher who calls the stillness that we find in practice a dynamic stillness. It's a stillness where if we slow down, if we observe, there's actually a lot happening. So see as you continue to unwind, as you continue to settle, if you can let the stillness that you find on the outside create some space for the healing, the regeneration that needs to happen in your body. Allowing each breath you take to feel like it's really supporting you in that healing, in that regeneration that's taking place just by you simply giving yourself the opportunity, the gift of rest. See if you can follow your breath as it moves out to the edges of your lungs, the edges of your rib cage. Noticing any resistance it might encounter on its way. Seeing if with your exhales, if you can find a little bit more softness, a little bit more release of any of that resistance, any of that gripping. Maybe as you release some of that resistance, some of that gripping, that extends into places like the jaw, the space between your eyebrows. Good. Slowly you can come back to center with your knee. And you can hug both knees into your chest, rocking your knees from side to side. And from there, you can hug just your left leg in towards your chest, taking the sole of your right foot to the floor and just rocking your left knee side to side. From there, catching onto the back of your thigh, you can extend the sole of your left foot up towards the ceiling. And again, you can find those circles with your toes. Some circles to the left, some circles to the right. Feeling all the creaks, the cracks. And then with a full breath in, you can just extend the sole of your left foot up towards the ceiling, like you wanted to step on the ceiling, pressing your thigh into your hands. And then as you exhale, you can bend the knee, hug it into your chest. From there, if your right leg isn't already extended, you can extend it forwards. And then you can move your support to the other side, crossing your left leg over your body. Sometimes it's nice to give a little shift to the hips so that there's a bit of ease in that crossing of the leg over the body. And then you can again settle yourself in, allowing both your shoulders to feel grounded, rooted into the support of gravity. And especially allowing that leg as it crosses over your body to feel supported, rooted. So within that framework of support, within that structure, you are giving yourself the ability to feel held. And just allowing yourself to really soften as if you're being held by someone you really love. That feeling of complete release, complete letting go when that happens. See if you can find that here, allowing yourself just to feel the support of the posture, the support of your breath, the support, the love that you can provide to yourself. Every breath you take, allowing yourself to arrive more fully, more completely into your body, into your breath, into this moment, into this time you've carved out of your day to just be exactly where you are, as you are. Scanning your body, seeing where there's gripping, where there's holding, and it might not be in the first place you think or the most obvious location. As you breathe, as you scan your body, and as you start to notice some of that gripping, some of that holding that might be present, wherever that is, finding the points of your body that are connected to gravity and just letting some of that go. And slowly you can come back to center, shifting your hips as needed to make your way back to center, hugging both your knees into your chest and just rocking your knees side to side. And then from there, you can gently roll to your side, whatever side feels more natural, supporting your head with your arm, letting the other arm just come in front of your chest, and just taking your time as you transition, taking a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. From there, gently pressing yourself up to your seat, making your way into child's pose. So taking your knees a little bit wider than your hips, letting your big toes come to touch, sinking hips towards heels. If it feels like you could use a bit of support under your knees, please take a blanket, or under the feet even can feel nice. You could also take some support between your hips and your feet. Or you could, for me, sometimes no support feels the best, but really just feel into what feels the best for you. Something under your torso could also feel pretty nice. Just settling in once again, feeling the points of contact of your body with gravity. Feeling into your breath. And just finding that flow, that expansion of inhale. With settling, the surrender of your exhale. You could have your arms reaching forward, or you could also just allow your arms to come alongside your body, shoulders resting onto knees, palms facing up towards the ceiling, the sky. Really just resting here. If your head's touching the floor, you could turn it side to side and just allow the space between your eyebrows to soften. Continue to allow your jaw, your face to soften. And scanning your body for resistance in this new relationship to gravity. With every exhale, finding a little bit more softness, a little bit more release, a little bit more stillness. From here, you can gently walk your hands in towards your knees, shifting your hips towards the right side. Coming to sit on your right side, and then grabbing a hold of your bolster, if you have one, or your homemade bolster, placing it in line with the short end of your mat, taking a hold of your second bolster or your block, and placing just a little bit of space between it and the first bolster. From there, you're going to lie over the bolster, placing your rib cage on the bolster, and then placing your head onto some support. Now, what you have might feel like enough support. It might feel like you need a little bit more. You want your head to feel like it's able to really relax. From there, you might just have your left hand on the bolster for some support. You might already be feeling a lot in the right side. This can be a really tight part of the thorax, of the rib cage, and you could just roll a bit side to side to start to release some of that holding, some of that gripping that might exist within that space. If you wanted a little bit more, you could start to reach your top arm up and over. And if your top arm doesn't quite touch the floor, you could place another bit of support under your hand. You can also play with the idea of starting to twist your heart open towards the ceiling. Just finding what works for you, your body, what allows you to stay connected to your breath. Again, noticing what resistance this might bring up with your inhales. And allowing yourself to find some softness, some release, some space, some stillness with your exhales. And slowly, if your hand's reaching over, you can return it back towards the bolster, just taking a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. From there, you can gently press into your hand, come back up to your seat. Turn yourself so that your back is facing towards your prop. Settle yourself in, feet to the floor, hands behind you. You can just windshield wiper your knees side to side. And then from there, you can shift onto your left hip. Left side of the body starts to rest over the bolster. Left arm goes into that space between the bolster and the block or your two bolsters. And to start, right hand just rests on the bolster. And maybe that's where you stay. Maybe you just find a little bit of a roll from side to side. So you're rolling out some of that gripping, some of the holding that can exist within that space. Maybe right arm is reaching up and over. And you're breathing here, releasing the gripping through your jaw, through your face. If your hands aren't already there, you can bring the arm that was reaching overhead back towards the bolster in front of you, just taking a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. From there, gently pressing yourself up to your seat. Again, hands can come behind you, feet to the floor, just windshield wiper your knees side to side. And then from there, our next posture will be resting pose, Shavasana. So a couple options. You can take some support beneath your knees, and I would really highly recommend that you take some support beneath your knees. You could also take legs up the wall or legs up the couch. Legs up the couch is a really nice one because you can give your legs quite a bit of support. So just finding yourself into a place that feels restful. If it would feel really restful for you to complete your practice with a forward fold, you could also do that, completing your practice with a forward fold. Just settling in, taking any little wiggles, any little adjustments that you need to feel really supported, really grounded. Allowing yourself to Really rest into and enjoy what your practice has created within your body, your breath, and your mind. Giving yourself this opportunity to just rest, absorb, integrate, knowing that rest, stillness are incredibly important. And just allowing yourself to drift into a trust that you're exactly where you need to be. And there's absolutely no rush. You can stay here as long as you'd like in stillness. When you do feel ready to move, you can first just feel back into the relationship of your body with gravity. Feel into the flow, the rhythm of your breath. And then when you feel ready, start to lengthen and deepen your breath. And then let that breath create little wiggles in your fingers and your toes. You could hug your knees into your chest, rock them side to side. Rolling to whichever side feels the most natural, resting there with your head supported by your arm. Full deep breath in. Full deep breath out. From there, gently pressing your way into a seated position. Resting your hands onto your legs, maybe onto your body. Closing your eyes as you soften chin to chest. Taking a full breath in and a full breath out. As you also just take this opportunity to thank yourself for taking the time to practice, to embrace stillness, to do something so good, so healthy for your body, your breath, and your mind. Thank you so much for joining me.